Right then, welcome back. Excuse me, awful. Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a setup for this, the BMW HP2 Sport Limited Motorsport Edition. Lots of letters and words and everything else. And I quite like these. They're a little bit left field. They are quite sought after now. They're quite expensive. I almost bought one in 2011, but I don't like the engine. The engine's just a bit meh. The liquid cooled ones are a lot better, but this is oil and air cooled, so it's known as an oil head, and it's just a bit meh. And not only that, look at that back wheel. It's on the wrong way. Someone at Milestone dropped an absolute clanger. There is a right way for the wheel, and when I show you the standard spec of the bike, you'll see it, but yeah. They've managed to get the wheel on the wrong way. Absolutely shocking. So, standard then. How does she look standard? She looks a little like that. So 130-ish horsepower, 200 kilos wet. There's your standard wheel. That's what it should look like normally, not the machined face facing outwards, so everybody can see it. Shocking. And we've thrown the kitchen sink at it. We've only given it another 20-odd horsepower, and we've only got rid of 17 kilos, so S764, it's not great. It's not great at all, but we'll give it a go and prepare to be surprised. So first up, Valencia, the site of our second ascent from the ashes this week, and we went to the National, Valencia National, medium front, medium rear. And I've just got to say, the front end on this bike is unbelievable. The AI weren't making it easier. The Super Duke rider was like, nope, you are not coming past. It was interesting down into that chicane before the last corner onto the start-finish straight. The AI did not want to give up their positions very easily. But, in fact, here we go again, Kawasaki Z1000. He's having none of it neither. Absolutely not. How he got that stopped and turned in, I'm not quite sure, but they did. So well done, sir. Well done indeed. Yeah, front end, unreal. Bike handling, very, very good. I did a 2 and 8 setup, so front preload on 2, rear preload on 8. All the front end settings, so spring, compression, rebound on. Oh, there you go. That's what happens when you overtake them. They get a bit arsey with it. So front settings on 8, rear settings on 2, and never touched it. Genuinely, never touched it, never changed anything. I did run different tyres on the time attacks and stuff like that, but no, never touched a thing. Just threw a setup in and it worked. Time attack wise, well, we did a 1:13.1 in the race, which there was a lot of mucking about and a lot of fanning about, but we did a 1:11.4 on the time attack. And that would have put us, well, it'll put us in 5th, I'll show you the leaderboard in a minute. But just look at the way that this bike, it just eats braking zones, eats corners, eats curbs. It doesn't care. You can slide it about, you can get on the brakes, it'll move about. Don't get me wrong, it moves about quite a lot to the point where you think, hang on, I'm getting off this. Most other bikes would have spat you off way before this thing even starts to remotely get out of shape. It just does not care. No, it's not very quick. No, it doesn't sound very well. It's not the greatest sound in the world, is it? It's a bit like a flat fart in a jar, but it is what it is. It's usable, and not only that, because it's only 764, it's not in the top tier. Which, when you see the leaderboard, you go, hang on a minute, this will work, because the tier below, a lot of bikes have to use the standard tyres, whereas this can use slicks and be fully tuned. Excuse me. And yeah, it's pretty handy. There you go. 5th on a BMW with a ditch pump for an engine that's way below the rating. A bit more time on there, and I reckon we can get top 3. But where do we go next? Ultimate Fosters. There were no limits on this. I didn't want to run it at particularly fast tracks. I didn't want to run it at tracks that I didn't really know. I wanted to go, do you know what? I'm going to run this at tracks that I like, and I'm going to see where we go on the leaderboards, because I think we'll do quite well. Medium soft, because at the Valencia race it didn't really on the curbs. You know what I mean by curbs? Every other bike in the game would have had you off there, apart from that. Maybe's a hedge abuser with its long wheelbase, or a ZZR14, but most of the bikes you would have been off. Inside, outside, it doesn't matter. The front end is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, this was a little bit naughty. I'm sorry, the person on the edge abuser just got eased out of the way. It was only a little touch, but obviously it had the desired effect. But yeah, absolutely unreal bike to use. Round the outside of one, up the inside of the other, and then a little chop across the nose. I was worried I was going to get turfed off there, but we didn't. And look at the way it stops and slides into the corner. It's just a really nice bike to use. I was genuinely surprised. I wanted to use it. I was looking forward to using it. I didn't expect it to come to anything. The boxes are a bit meh, like I said, and I don't want to keep slagging the engine off, but yeah, I was genuinely shocked. Time attack wise, well, we did we did 56.4 in the race. There wasn't a lot left on that. There wasn't a lot to come out of that on the time attack. It's a pretty quick circuit. Obviously the ambient temperature is a lot warmer, the tyres are getting a lot warmer. We did a hard front soft rear, we did a 55.7, and that would have put us 5th. The problem is, I've already been here on a street triple. Yeah, so we would have done a 55.75, so that would have put us in 5th. But obviously top BMW again, so 2 tracks, 2 time attacks, top BMW. We went to UMC, I forgot I'd turned the wheelie control off. Happy days, what an idiot. And then something weird happened. A bike with 150 horsepower that weighs 3 tonnes at UMC Outer, because I wanted to push the chassis and the tyres to see what happened, went from back of the grid to first in 2 corners. Against MV Agusta F4s, Fireblades and all sorts of really flash fast naughty kit. Yeah, and we got to the front and that was it. We didn't even look back. I just pissed off into the distance and the nice sunset and never thought about it again. Ran a medium soft. Again, it wasn't using the tyre particularly harshly. I didn't feel like it needed a hard tyre during the race. The medium warmed up a lot quicker, and it was a lot more sustainable if you were in traffic. We did another time attack. I'm not going to show me all. Went 6th again, 145.4, which was 1.6 seconds quicker than when in the race. So I thought, right, we'll go somewhere else then that punishes the front end and the handling of the bike. We'll go to Canada, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Again, ZZR 1400s, blades, ZX6Rs, a little of everything, headbutting walls, you name it, we were doing it. And it just didn't give a shit. And sorry if the language is a bit harsh, but it didn't. All over the curbs, not interested. There was a ZZR 1400 somewhere playing it, being a shark. Every time there was a braking zone after a decent straight, he was trying to jam it with the inside. But look at the front end there. Pick a line, get on the brakes, chuck it on its side, and it was just holding it. Absolutely mega. It is going to be frustrating for people that like to do the point and square. It doesn't have the punch out the corners. It's another bike very similar to the R1s and the Aprilias, and I'm not picking them on purpose. I genuinely am picking these bikes randomly. There's that ZZR again. It just seems to be the bikes that I'm picking at the minute. Don't worry, we're going to do a CBR 600, which is even more about corner speed later on, but hey ho, it is what it is. But yeah, again, good race. I enjoyed it. I'll stick some of the replays up later on today. And we went back, did a time attack. 55th power, just about power. It's the top BMW, but it's just about power. It just doesn't have the go, the long straights of Canada. It was really struggling. And I thought, right, well, we'll go somewhere else that doesn't really need a massive amount of power. We'll go to Tsukuba. It's all about handling and braking and this, that, and the other. It's less about having loads of grunt. I mean, I know there's a decent straight out the back, but it's not the biggest straight in the world. We had a little bit of an interaction with an MV Agusta. I was going to restart it, but I was that busy laughing that by the time I thought about restarting it, we'd actually sold the Hayabusa a dummy and gone up the inside and we're in the lead, and I just thought, sod it, I'll leave it in. It is what it is. It was not the cleanest race in the world, but we'll do it. Went hard front for this one, just because it's all about the front end. This track is really, really harsh on the front tyre. They were wearing well, they were warmed up nice and quickly. We did a 55.6 in the race, so went back and did the time attack, and we ended up what did we end up? 17th? Yeah, we did a 54.9. I mean, I've gone faster on the street triple, but yeah, you'd expect the street triple to go faster. Again, it would have been the top BMW on there. And then last but not least, Canto South, with some wets on. Now, oh, there you go, nice little almost crash. There's two of them in one bike. I think it's got a bit of an addiction. Will it boogie? No, it won't, not really. It will get the back end out. It's all about the front end on this thing. It just, I mean, 150 horsepower, not to be sniffed at, but it just doesn't have quite enough go to overcome the grip of the tyres and the chassis and everything else. So it will slide about, but it'll only slow dance. You are not, I mean, look at the front end. That is just absolutely filthy all the way up the inside, and we're miles inside the track limits as well. She'll slow dance, she'll get the back end out on the slower corners, but it regains grip really quickly. I mean, there you go, a bit of a slide, but that was about the limit. Any faster than that, and it was really, really struggling. I mean, up through the last corner now, it will go sideways, but once you get to like 90, 95, 100 miles an hour, it just comes back into line. It doesn't have the go. But yeah, all in all, it was a good bike to use. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, we did a time attack, went back, we did a 135.7, which would have put us 5th. I mean, the street triple again, I've done it. It's only a 10th behind the street triple, which for a big fat BMW, I don't think it's too bad. So, setup wise, 2 and 8. Preload, 2 on the front, 8 on the back. And then your spring, compression and rebound, 8 on the front, 2 on the back. And that's it. Banged the final ratio for the gears up 1, just to give it a bit more legs. And the calibration on aggressive. And that was your lot, really. Pros and cons. Uncrashable. Wow, that's a brave word. It's not uncrashable, obviously. But if you're not trying to crash, it is pretty much uncrashable. It will go over curbs, it does not care, it just does what it wants. And I mean, all three of them are essentially the same point, aren't they? It's uncrashable because it's got rock solid handling and it'll eat curbs for fun. But outside of that, the pros of the bike are, it's a reasonably quick 700 to 799 or whatever the performance group is. It's reasonably quick and it'll set some decent times on the leaderboards. Cons, it's got no top end, it's got a ditch pump for an engine, and then I wind my father-in-law up constantly because the BMW Boxer engine, and it isn't, but I tell him it is, it's essentially derived from a German ditch pump for pumping water out of trenches and ditches during the wars, the First and Second World War. But I get, it isn't, but he bites every time, so he's got a ditch pump engine and we'll leave it at that. And it feels heavy because it is. I mean, it's 190 kilos in the game. I mean, you can't really take a lot out of it. It's got a shaft drive, big single-sided swinger, self-supporting carbon seat unit, but it's already on the bike, so you're not taking a massive amount of weight on it. And that's about it. It's a good bike. I enjoyed using it. It's a great bike if you want to set some decent leaderboard times, one tier down from the fastest stuff. Yeah, and it was fun. Some of the replays are quite entertaining, so like I said, I'll stick them out later. That's it. Next up, we're doing... We're on the 2019 CBR 1000 RRRR. No, it's not that one. 2019 Fireblade at Donington National for a 20-minute endurance race. And then we're going to do the 2008 CBR 600 RR. Now, my final point that I want to share with you today is I'm going to have to drop something because I'm flat out at work. It's just too much to do. I'm working Monday to Friday. I only get my weekends and a little bit of time in each evening to get this stuff done. And the good weather's here, so I'm going to be out on pedal bikes and motorbikes and all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to drop the snow runner. I've enjoyed doing it, but it's just so time consuming. So I'm going to drop that. I'll still do the Forza because I've got something going on with the background and that. So I'll still do the Forza and I'll do the ride and we'll leave it at that. And then I'll do the pedal bike and the motorbike stuff as and when I do it. So the snow runners don't get a massive amount of views anyway, so it's not going to be a massive impact. But yeah, there should be more motorbikes, less trucks, and I'll drop the Forza stuff in between. So I'm going to try and do a ride video every day, either an endurance race or a setup. And one of the comments the other week said, why don't you do some of the classic stuff, some of the historical endurance races, so like the old Boulder Ore races and stuff like that. So I'm going to have a look at that over the Easter weekend and see if I can't get at least one decent length endurance race out. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, thanks for sticking with me, thanks for subscribing, thanks for everything you do. I really appreciate it, and fingers crossed I will see you next time. Take care, stay safe, peace.